The Johnsons lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. Their house sat perfectly at the end of a cul-de-sac, where kids often rode bikes until sunset and families decorated their lawns for every holiday. From the outside, the Johnsons looked like the perfect American family. Lisa, the stay-at-home mom, her husband Mark, a successful accountant, and their only son, Johnny. But inside those walls, it was a different story. Lisa had noticed the changes in Johnny over the past year. At just 7 years old, he was addicted to his tablet, his phone, and every glowing screen he could get his hands on. He no longer wanted to play outside or sit at the dinner table. His world revolved around games, videos, and the endless stream of instant gratification that technology fed him. Lisa tried rules. She tried gentle talks. She tried taking the devices away. Every attempt was met with screaming, stomping, and words that no child should even know. On one chilly Tuesday afternoon, the breaking point came. Lisa walked into the living room where Johnny sat curled on the couch, his eyes glued to his phone. His untouched math workbook sat on the coffee table. "Johnny, give me the phone," she said in a calm but firm voice. "And no," he shouted without even looking up. "You've been on it for hours. Homework first. You know the rules." Before he could argue, Lisa reached down and snatched the phone from his small hands. That's when it happened. Johnny's face twisted in rage. He jumped up and slapped his mother hard across the face. Lisa gasped, stumbling back. "Johnny, stop it. Shut up, you sick bastard. I need my phone," he screamed, shocking her not only with his words, but with the venom in his tone. Lisa's heart broke. This was her little boy, the same boy she used to rock to sleep, the boy who once couldn't go to bed without hugging her neck. Now he looked at her like she was his enemy. "Johnny," she whispered, her voice shaking, "that's not nice. You can't talk to me this way." But he only grew louder, cussing and shouting, words that no 7-year-old should even know. His hands grabbed the nearest mug on the coffee table, and with a furious yell, he hurled it at her. The ceramic smashed against the wall, sending shards scattering across the floor. Then he stormed into his room, slamming the door so hard the frame rattled. Across the room, Maria, the new nanny, stood frozen. She had been in the house just 1 week. Hired through an agency, she had seen tantrums in kids before, but nothing like this. She had grown up in Mexico, raised in a large, strict household where respect for elders was non-negotiable. What she had just witnessed left her in disbelief. She turned toward Lisa, who was still standing in shock, her cheek red, her eyes full of tears. "Do you let your kids treat you this way?" Maria asked carefully, though her voice carried sharpness. Lisa shook her head weakly, her hands trembling. "He isn't like this when his father is home," she whispered. "Last week, he even threw a knife at me. I'm tired, Maria. I don't have the strength to fight him anymore. Just let him be. He'll outgrow it." Maria's eyes narrowed. "No, ma'am. He will not outgrow this. He'll grow into it. Soon, it won't be mugs and knives. It'll be fists, broken furniture, maybe worse. You are teaching him that this is acceptable." Before Lisa could answer, Johnny's door slammed open again. He stormed back into the room, his little fists clenched. His eyes, wild with entitlement, darted toward his mother. "Give me my phone." Now, Lisa froze, but Maria stepped forward. In her hand was the phone Lisa had dropped onto the table. "I have it," Maria said firmly, meeting his glare. "And you'll only get it back when your homework is finished." Johnny blinked in shock. No one had ever dared stand up to him this way. "Shut up," he yelled, running toward her. He swung his small hand and slapped her across the face with all his might. The room went silent. Lisa gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. She expected Maria to break down, to scold him, to back away. But Maria didn't move. She didn't cry. She didn't tremble. Instead, she raised her hand and gave Johnny one sharp slap back across the cheek. Not hard enough to injure him, but firm enough to shock him into reality. Johnny froze. His eyes widened. His mouth dropped open. Maria's voice was low and steady. "Never, ever. Hit me again. Do you understand?" The boy trembled, caught between rage and confusion. For the first time, he looked truly afraid, not of pain, but of consequences. "Now," Maria continued, holding the phone out of reach, "sit down at the table. Open your books, or this phone is gone forever." Johnny's lip quivered. He glanced at his mother, hoping she'd save him, defend him, cave in like always. But Lisa was silent, watching in awe. Without another word, Johnny turned and ran to the dining table. He pulled his books toward him, flipped them open, and began reading quietly. His shoulders were tense, his eyes red, but he said nothing more. Lisa could hardly believe it. "How?" she whispered, turning to Maria. "How did you do that?" Maria sighed, sitting beside her. "Children push. They test you. And if you let them, they'll push until there's nothing left. Respect is not optional. It must be taught. If you don't stop bad behavior now, he'll grow up believing it's normal. And then it will be too late." Lisa buried her face in her hands. I didn't want him to hate me." Maria shook her head gently. "He won't hate you. He'll respect you. And when he grows up, he'll thank you. But right now, he needs boundaries more than he needs a friend." That night, when Mark came home, the atmosphere was different. The usual chaos, the shouting, the broken things, it was gone. Instead, Johnny sat at the table, quietly doing his math homework. When Mark asked about his day, Johnny mumbled, "Fine," and went back to his work. For the first time in months, the house felt peaceful. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a complete transformation. There would be more battles ahead, more lessons to teach. But that night, Lisa knew one thing for sure. Something had changed. Because sometimes, all it takes is one person to draw the line and say, "Enough." If you don't correct a child's bad behavior early, they'll believe it's acceptable. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They are love in action.